Hi, this video is a brief introduction to Bernard Mandeville's thoughts on vice. Mandeville was a Dutch philosopher and a political economist during the late 17th century and early 18th century. Mandeville became famous for writing the book, Fable of the Bees. In this book is his most well-known poem called The Grumbling Hive. It is a satirical poem that mocks the idea of a viceless society. A vice is something that is deemed immoral or wrong in society. An example of vice would be prostitution. The Grumbling Hive poem begins by describing a society where vices do exist and that people act in their own self-interest. It resembles the society that we live in today where some people work very hard and others do not. In this poem, there are all types of professions that are deemed wrong because of their bad virtues. Vice, greed, and waste were features of this society, and this country was the envy of all other countries. As the poem continues, many people in society begin to complain to God to remove vice. So God removed vice from this society. This is a quote from the Grumbling Hive when God agrees to remove vice from the society. In anger swore he'd rid the bawling hive of fraud, and did. By doing so, the society's economy collapsed. There were more people who became unemployed, and there were fewer industries to work in. Since everyone was content with this society, they retreated back to the state of nature to live like animals. This poem is a mock of society where vice does not exist. Mandeville believed that vice is beneficial for an economy, and without it, an economy would collapse. Another quote from the Grumbling Hive is, "Without great vices is a vain utopia seated in the brain." This quote sums up his sarcastic humor that a viceless society only lives in the brain, meaning it cannot exist in a true society. He also agreed that there needs to be justice to check these vices. For example, murder is obviously a vice that is wrong, and he does not encourage or condone it. Vices that are not this extreme are encouraged because Mandeville believed that vice checks vice. An example of this is the vice of recreational marijuana. The benefits of legalizing marijuana will check the negatives of having marijuana legal. The two benefits of legalizing marijuana are the state of Colorado receives more sales tax revenue and has created more jobs. The negative of legalizing marijuana are the potential increase in crime within the community because currently banks are not allowed to take cash from this industry. This might entice criminals to rob the marijuana dispensaries and attempt to steal the marijuana product or the cash stored in these facilities. The neighborhoods where the grow facilities and dispensaries are located could potentially see the value of their property decrease because of the higher crime rates. There are positives and negatives to legalization of marijuana, as Mandeville would point out that in this case, vice checks vice. What he means is that the benefits of legalizing marijuana will check the negatives of legalizing marijuana. Mandeville's idea of vice has had a lasting effects on our society and continues to be applied in many aspects. Thank you for listening, and hopefully you learned more about Mandeville's idea about vice in society.